Introduction to historical research. Dear students, historical research is a kind of research which is really interesting and really important to be known to researchers. I would like to start with a quotation by G.B. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw, who is a well-known English dramatist, a philosopher, and also a linguist. He says that the past is not behind the group, it is within the group. You see? So the past is not behind the group, it's the part of the present, it's the part of the group. And there is another quotation by G.B. Shaw. He says that the past, if it can be located, is the key to the present. Right? So keeping these two quotations in mind, let me start with the introduction of historical research. Historical research is really important. And since we are exploring history, so we would be, acquiring knowledge. We would be creating knowledge about the past events, the past practices, and particularly when it is the part of educational research, we would be evaluating the past events and the past, practices, the past operations, and the past policies in education, right? So historical research is basically a meaningful record of the past, right? So you are documenting some events, some actions, some practices, processes from the past, and then you are using them in order to improve your present, right? So it's, the branch of learning which studies the records of the past. And the records of the past are used in order to create your present life comfortable, your present life the best possible one, right? And the point is that this historical research is not only important in education, but it is also important in political science, in international relations, and also in military sciences. Okay, so the point is that how would you use historical research, and how would you carry out with the studies which are called historical researches. Historical research is the scientific method of inquiry to historical problems, because we need to evaluate historical events and problems, and then we can discuss them and we can evaluate them using the features of historical research. It's the relationship between persons, events, times, and places, right? So these are examples that how can you evaluate and you can explore the relationship, among various sections of the society, among various, institutions of the society. So these relationships are studied within historical research. Historical research is studying the undergoing change in transformation, right? So we are living in a continuous, a flux, right? So there is, a lot of changes taking place around us, and we are to study them as researchers, right? And the point is that how would we evaluate and explore this change and this transformation which is going around us all the time. New understanding of past, particularly in relation to the present, is the focus of the study. That how would you give new meanings to the events, to the people, to the activities, to the practices and policies of the past, and that creation of the new meaning would give you the points to evaluate and to be made part of the present for the sake of improved life and for the sake of improved practices. So that is something which is really important for historical researchers. And the point is that it's not only related to the present, but you can also plan for the future. And you highlight the past, you improve your present, and you plan for the future. So that's the connection which is really important in social sciences. And in social sciences, we need historical researches. Historical research is based on important information on the effects of past practices and prepare for the future. And that's the point which is related to educational research. When we evaluate and we take information from the past, right? And then we just keeping in mind those practices and those policies, we prepare ourselves for the challenges of the future, and we also try to improve our present. So these are the points which are, considered in historical research, and therefore historical research is really important for researchers of social sciences.